How are you doing on this Friday? It's a weekend. Welcome, guys. We are back in the hot furnace. Manchester United will be back in action against Fulham in the English Premier League as we do hope to salvage a situation that is leaving an entire huge institution, the biggest probably in the world, divided. Some people are calling for Eric Ten Hag out. Some are saying stick together with the manager. Now, I'm on the team that says let's stick together as the fans, the players, and the manager. And so is Scott McTominay, who was speaking to the press before that game against Fulham. But what exactly have they got to do in terms of their part if indeed we are going to jump onto the wagon, all of us, and stick together as we do fight our way out of this ditch that's so deep and frustrating that we find ourselves in? My name is Webb. Welcome to the Hotspot on this Friday edition. It's a checked Friday. It's a checkered Friday, if you could call it. But it is one Friday that for me comes with a lot of energy. Now, I know, of course, of all the talk going on around concerning Man United and letting go of Ten Hag and bringing in, of course, there was talk of Zinedine Zidane. I don't think the sources, the Times, should be disappointed in that story. I don't think it's true. Whereas I do know that we are interested in Zinedine Zidane before the arrival of Eric Ten Hag. I don't think now we can think about it for reasons I gave you in my previous video. But also, I don't think it's the right thing to do, considering that we've done so much of this before. Bring in a manager, things don't go good for a few times, we sack them. It's not the first time after Sir Alex Ferguson, even when Sir Alex Ferguson was there, it's not the first time we are losing games in this manner. It is just that, of course, it's the moment. When you're in the moment, you feel the pain, and you get irrational at times. You don't think about what you're saying. We just want things to change because we see Man City balling it, we see Arsenal balling it, we see Liverpool silently balling it, we see Brighton ahead of us. We look at all these teams, Newcastle United beating us at home, and it gets personal, to be honest. And I know it feels bad, it feels personal. And these days, these small clubs are also getting some bit of fans and they feel big, they are talking and all. But guys, let's stick together and support the manager. Now, speaking of supporting the manager, he is returning this time around with less pressure because there will be quite a few traveling fans, obviously, to London all the way from Manchester as we do take on Fulham at the Craven Cottage. But I think it's a good thing, partly because it comes down the pressure because we've lost two games at Old Trafford. Obviously, you don't want us to lose a third one, not against Fulham. And at the moment, knowing how we play, seeing how we play in some of the games we've played, seeing the losses we've had, it is obviously not a far-fetched thought to think that we could actually lose to Fulham. In fact, I think the game against Fulham is either going to be so difficult for us or we are going to revenge and pummel Fulham. So I don't know which United will turn up. On a good day, they will come and just beat the cottage out of Fulham in their yard. But it might be too much to ask considering what's going on surrounding the club. But what changes do we expect Eric Ten Hag to make to this team? Like I said, for me, forget about the talk of him being sacked. I think we can stick with him for now. We've got to stick together. Like the boss said after that game against Newcastle, like Scott McTominay has emphasized it as well. That's what we've got to do. But if we are going to stick together, we've got to also believe in what the boss is doing, in what the players are doing. We've got to see the players take more initiative, the players take more responsibility. And even Wayne Rooney said it, that Manchester United players, yes, the manager will take all the flack and the beating, but players have got to take some bit of responsibility and take initiative and take things in their own hands as well. So for me, that's what I want to see. I don't care what the result is. I don't care if we win or lose. Of course, I don't expect us to lose by 4 goals to nil, 5 goals to nil. If that happened for me, then I think the whole story would have to change. But what I think, what I need to see is improvement in certain key elements of the game: how we play, how we build up, how we attack, our patterns, but also some bit of changes to the squad. Eric Ten Hag has got, he's the manager, he's with his players. He has got to see what's not working and pull up something. So for me, I just want to see that. If he's got to motivate and psych these players up, he has got to do it. And he won't get a better opportunity to come and revenge than a Fulham lying 14th on the pile. We are above them, but they are quite stubborn. They got a draw against Brighton. So, as their coach, Marco Silva, a brilliant tactician, by the way, Fulham are an exciting team to watch. Marco Silva is such a good manager. No wonder he was wanted by these oil rich Saudi clubs, but he turned them down to stay. He turned down double, twice his wages at Fulham to stay there and not go to Saudi. So he's a guy of character, and of course he will know well that, and you know what to do to psych his players to come with confidence at the Craven Cottage and say we are not losing against the laughing stock of town, who we are now. To be honest, we are the new laughing stock in town. But anyhow, that cannot be permanent. It has got to be it's just a moment, it's just a phase. It happens in football, it happens to everyone in life. Even the greatest people face hard times. It's just how you deal with them and bounce out of them. And that's why we are ganging up together and cheering behind Eric Ten Hag and the boys to ensure that they give us just that. Now, to be fair, there are some players in United who you look at and you're thinking, it's sad that they are part of this mess. Players like Rasmus Højlund, he has come from Atalanta. His rise has been so, but from Copenhagen, Stam Gros named the Atalanta and boom, into Manchester United. Hot, exciting player. In fact, and I'll drop a video on this debate. There are debates about whether Rasmus Højlund would be a better striker if he was playing for a team like Man City. I actually think so. I think if Rasmus Højlund was where Erling Haaland is in Man City, he would score a lot more goals because Højlund has got everything that Haaland doesn't have. He plays better with the ball. He can create something, can score a goal out of nothing. He can come and get involved in play. I think he's a good footballer. He's a better complete footballer. Erling Haaland is just a goal poacher, and he needs a team like Man City to feed him, a team like Borussia Dortmund to feed him. Put Højlund in that team, and he will score all the Haaland goals he scored and more. That's what I think. But that's not the debate for today. We'll debate about that perhaps in another video. But that said, going into the preview of this game, Man United and Fulham at the Craven Cottage. It's an important game for Manchester United, not because it will put us on the top of the pile, but largely because of the situation we are in, that we need a win. All we need, all Man United supporters are desperate for now, is a win. But what squad would give us that? And for me, this is my preferred starting 11, and of course what I anticipate, and this 11 is certainly a balance of what we've seen from the young players, the youth that we've been calling for to come and play, but also the reality of what we know Eric Ten Hag is likely to do, because we know that he's certainly not going to bench Bruno Fernandez for the game against Fulham. Fernandez came off the bench in the last game against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, and he was actually trying to put in the yards. For me, the issue with Fernandez is a bit to do with the whole squad around him, the captain's armband, and but also, it's a phase. Fernandez has been consistently one of our better players since he joined in, a couple of years ago. So for me, I get it that he's a decent player, but at times even decent players have got to be pulled out for them to get a reaction, and of course try to get them to want and hungry and to want and play. So for me, yeah, I don't think he's going to be benched, for example. So my starting 11 in this one would be, for me, the only two changes I would make to this squad, and you can call me crazy, is two. First of all, we know that Casemiro is injured. He's a doubt for this game. Eric Ten Hag will be speaking in a press conference later today, but he hinted about, I think it was after the game against Newcastle, because Casemiro played only 45 minutes and he was the captain. He was pulled off because of injury, he says, and he's certain he's not going to be playing tomorrow against Fulham, but he will be back. Perhaps it's not that big an injury, but Casemiro is not in the game, and for me, that's an opportunity for us to see what Kobe Mino can do. And you can say, and I can hear you when you say Kobe is a young player and you're putting so much pressure and expectations on him, just like other young players. But for me, I think unlike Mabry, unlike Facundo Pellistri, unlike Alejandro Garnacho, unlike all the other young players we've got in the team, I think Kobe Mino is one who has come of age, who is able to actually take on that mantle of manning that midfield for Manchester United. I think he's come of age and he's capable of doing it. So for me, he should be the first player he drops in to make changes, because good enough Casemiro is not there. I don't want to see Amrabat playing with Scott McTominay or Amrabat playing next to Christian Eriksen. No, I do want to see actually two holding midfielders, because we leak goals from the middle. We need a solid player there. I see the goals that we considered, I think should be the third goal from Newcastle United. And I was looking, I'm thinking, how on earth are we conceding such goals again? Don't we see that the problem is there? It's glaring in that video. So for me, a player like Kobe Mino, you can't run through him like that. So for me, I think Kobe Mino should be starting in a 4-2-3-1. Put Kobe Mino next to Sofian Amrabat. Maybe Amrabat slightly ahead of him. Mino just back sitting, the one at the base. He played a full 90 minutes in our under 21 game against Wrexham. So I think he's certainly, I think, has got to be. I think it was against Salford City rather, not Wrexham. So for me, I think Kobe Maino should be playing. That's a key change I expect to see from Eric Ten Hag. He's fit. He was rested for Newcastle, yet he played 90 minutes the day before. So for me, I think that was good. He should be fit enough for the weekend to play and start. We've got to get this player starting. There is no time for us to wait. Eric Ten Hag has got to stop being so careful with these players. These players are excited. I hear him explaining how he's protecting Rasmus Haaland. He's new to the Premier League, the intensity, the demands, we've got to protect him. No, I mean, we need goals. That's why he's paid so much money. That's why he was brought in for so much money. Unless he's really injured, unless we've got the result we want, pull off Rasmus Haaland because of whatever reasons you're giving. But if he's still running and still showing he wants to go, leave him there. For me, those are little issues that I think Eric Ten Hag has got to change on, to work on. He has got to stop being a lot very careful. At times, if you're too careful, you don't get anything done. You don't get anything done. You've got to take risks. You've got to be free. You've got to simplify things. Don't complicate life so much. So for me, that's what I expect to do. So for me, that's my preferred starting squad. A back four of Sergio Reguilon on the left. On the right, Wan Bissaka is back again. A little improvement there because Bissaka makes us look better from the right. Backline, Harry Maguire and Rafael Varane, because there will be pressure in this team. You need Varane to come in. Varane was not part of the Newcastle squad because of an illness, they say. The game before against Man City, he was benched because apparently, according to the tactical approach of the game, he was never going to contribute in that one. I disagree, but I'm not the boss. Then the front two, Maino first, then just slightly ahead of him, Sofian Amrabat. Have your Bruno as your number 10. Stop playing Bruno on the right, Eric. Stop playing Bruno Fernandez on the right. But Bruno Fernandez on the right is as good as him not being there. Put Bruno Fernandez as a number 10 if he's going to be playing. Let him be there. Then on the right, of course, Eric will go for Anthony. And again, many people feel that Anthony is quite a hard worker. He's just not effective. Maybe at some point he'll get the confidence like the boss is hoping to turn his hard work into something tangible. But he's a hard worker. He tracks back. He tries to do but right now we don't just need people to work hard. We need the whole unit to be working hard and effective. The thing now is certain players work hard a bit, others don't. You see Bruno trying at times to run around and work hard a bit, and then a few players are just all over the place. Rasmus Hojlund, of course, should be leading the line. And on the left, for me, I'm saying we need a change on the left. Marcus Rashford, I still think, should be rested, should be on the bench. I'm saying let us put Garnacho there to start. Or Anthony Martial, surprise us. Yes, he was no show probably against Newcastle because he was a number 9. He hasn't been playing for a long time. But for me, the whole point for me is Marcus Rashford needs to be rested more for a statement to be made because he has got to pull up his socks. He was our worst player in that game against Man City. We can't afford to not make to react. Eric Ten Hag has got to make a statement on the pitch. So for me, that's what I expect to see if we are going to deal with Fulham. But then, most importantly, we need to see improvement in how we play, how we build from the back, how we try to build for a goal. We've got to improve certain things about our game. We've got to work on certain things. It's got to be clear that we are improving in this department, in these particular departments. For me, that's what I want to see. If that is done, I won't care about the result. I think we will be on the right direction, on the right course to recovery, on the right course to return. But most importantly, each player who gets the honor of being on the pitch has got to take initiative and fight for that badge. Because guys, we are calm now. We are still calm. Of course, low key bitter. We are bordering bitterness, but we are being sober and using our heads and all. But trust you me, if things continue bad like this, I tell you, we'll forget about everything we've been come about, and we'll be calling for the head of not just the manager, but some of those players in there. Of course, that's too much to ask because players are on big wages. They are difficult to get rid of, but we will still call for their heads if they don't put in some effort, show initiative, and beat the beauty out of Fulham in this one. My name is Webb, Hotspot. Subscribe. Let me know what you think. of this game. What do you expect to see in this game? Is it one we are going to use to bounce back? Is this the game that turns things around? We've been saying this about each game we've been going into, but somehow things are not turning around for us. Let's hope this is the game. Hotspot, subscribe. It's a Friday. Bye bye, guys. Love you.